Well, here we go. It's time to start a brand new save. Now, this save is going to be completely different. I still don't know what team we're going to be. So what we're going to do is we'll take a look, see who got relegated from the past season. So the real life tables from the Premier League, La Liga, Liga 1, Serie A, and the Bundesliga. Put all of those teams in a bowl, take one out at random, and that's who we're going to win the Champions League with. So let's take a look who we could potentially manage. So from the Premier League, so we could potentially manage have the option of 3 teams. Potentially, obviously, this is going to be drawn out randomly out from above, so I don't have a choice of who it manages. So from the Premier League, the relegated teams are West Ham United, obviously finishing 18th. Burnley finishing 19th. Then Wolverhampton Wanderers finish bottom of the Premier League. So that's the teams from the Premier League that have been relegated. Now let's take a look at the teams from League 1. So I don't really know how this league works. So the bottom 2 were FC Nantes and Metz. I don't know what this means from Nice. I presume they got relegated. If they didn't get relegated, we won't include them in the draw. Obviously, if they did get relegated, we'll obviously put them in the hat and see if we end up managing them. But I think they just about avoided relegation, I presume. Is that the amount of points they've got? If so, that's quite pathetic. Then moving on to the Bundesliga. So the teams that have got relegated from this are St. Pauli. Never heard of them, not really. Heidenheim and Wolfsburg. Wolfsburg used to be a really good team. I presume they did get relegated. If so, I think that's a relegation playoff. Again, we'll have to do a little bit more deep dive to see if they did get relegated, but I think they did. Then moving on to Serie A. The teams that got relegated are Pisa, who finished bottom. If we get them, I don't anticipate this save going on for very long. We've also got the option of Hellas Verona and Cremonese. Then moving on to La Liga, we've got the option of Real Oviedo, who are I don't think they're a top tier team. They're very much a second tier team. If we get there, but that's going to be a huge struggle. But the challenge I'm up for. Then we've got the likes of Girona and Mallorca. So let's put all those teams into a bowl and let's see who we shall be managing. All the teams are now in this bowl. I don't know who's which paper, so we're going to go at random, obviously with my eyes closed, so none of you can accuse me of being biased or cheating in any way. So whatever team I pick out, that is what we're doing. No second dipping. The first team we choose is the team we win the Champions League with, or until we get sacked. Hopefully win the Champions League. But here we go. We're going in. I can't see what we're doing, so I'm gonna have a nice rummage around. But I have got a team. I've only got one thing. So let's put the ball down, and I'm gonna reveal it to you first. So we have got, if you can see that, I don't know if you can see that. I think the light is a bit too. I think it is Real Oviedo from Spain. So that could be quite an interesting one. But now let's meet the Real Oviedo squad. Well, we have been hired by Real Oviedo, which is obviously a team in the Spanish league, in case you didn't realise that by now. But obviously, the nickname is that they are quite I'm not even going to try and pronounce that nickname. They're quite an old team. Not only an old team, this is their 100th year. And they're celebrating the 100th year as a second tier. So obviously, we're going to change it. We're going to try and avoid relegation this season, and over the next course of seasons, try and get together a decent squad and hopefully try and build ourselves up to a Champions League winning squad. Hopefully within the next 5 years, that would be nice. We've got a decent sized stadium, 30,500. Obviously, before we do like the tactics and whatnot, this is the board expectation for this year. Obviously, board vision, quite usually simple stuff, work within the wage budget, grow the club's reputation. Quite hard to do when we're relegation favourites. Sign players under the age of 23. Again, we'll try and do that wherever possible, but there's not really going to be any transfer restrictions for this same. It's pretty much anything goes, but obviously apart from work towards that as well. But we can obviously, as we get better, we can sign more and more wonder kids. I think that's probably quite hard to do now, but this current season they want us to be competitive in the Spanish Cup and a attempt to avoid relegation. So I don't think they're going to be too disappointed if we do get relegated, but we'll see what happens. I think the main thing is just try and avoid relegation. I think that's what it means, but can we I mean, imagine if they just don't decide to judge a first division, but Spanish Cup, that is completely fine. I'm quite happy with that. So let's make the squad before we decide what sort of a tactic we're going to be doing. We're sorted by who's our best players. So we've got Santi Cazorla, who is apparently our best player at the club, despite the fact he is 10 years older than the second best player at the club. I mean, he's 40 years old. Whether or not he'll get much game time, that remains to be seen. He probably won't play against the likes of Barcelona or Real Madrid because I don't think he's quite up to that pace. But in terms of a guy to have around the dressing room, quite decent. So he's obviously a centre mid, probably attacking mid back in the day, but now he's got older, he's dropping down deeper. So could potentially probably no, just as a bog standard central midfield and advanced playing. But yeah, he could do a playmaker role. Then we've got David Costas at 30 years old, is a decent centre back, ball playing centre back. Quite risky playing one of them, but I think we can do it. Then we've also got obviously former Manchester United defender Eric Bailly. Didn't realise he was lurking around Oviedo. Was at Villarreal previously, but now has joined them on a free transfer. So we're definitely obviously doing two centre back formation. And we've got Aaron Escandel as our goalkeeper, who does look pretty decent. I'm actually quite pleased that we have a decent goalkeeper. Has been at Oviedo. This is his second season. Then we've got, oh my god, is this a rule? I mean, is there a rule? I mean, seriously, how many loans? Oh my god. How I might have to look at the rules because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 loans in the squad. 9 loans. What are the rules? Are they just literally all loans? This might get a bit complicated when we start the season. This might get very complicated because they all do look very decent, but whether or not they can all play, I mean, if they can all play, that is just absolutely mind-blowing and absolutely bonkers. We've got 3 on-loan strikers. I don't even know what formation we're doing at the moment, let alone getting our head around all this loan situation. I mean, Barbas is a poacher. Then we've got Alex Flores, who's also a poacher. I can see where this is going. Federico Venus is also a poacher. Obviously, they can do other roles. Obviously, we've got Harry Lopez, who's a left back, so definitely do a 4 at the back. Don't know what formation yet, as it stands. Obviously, we're going to do 4. Then it could be a 4-2-3-1, a 4-3-3, a 4-4-2. And I don't know how the front end is going to line up. We've got Nicholas Fonseca, who is a defensive mid or a centre mid, so that's doable. That's we can work around that. Santiago Colombato is a defensive mid. Again, they're all loans. I mean, this is I'm struggling to get my head around this. whose idea was this? We've also got Thiago Fernandez, who is a attacking midfielder, can also play out on the left. He's 5'9". Again, yeah, this is I do just want to check in on the rules, like for the first division, because if it says we're only allowed 5 loans in the matchday squad, then we're gonna be a little bit stuck here, shall we? So what does it say? Squad registration doesn't say anything about loans. Match rules. The squad must have no more than 4 players in the playing 11 who have been registered for a different team. I don't think that applies to us. The playing 11 must have at least 7 players who have been registered for the first team. Again, it seems a little bit confusing at the moment because it doesn't say a restriction for loan players at the moment. Loan rules. Maximum of 6 foreign-based players over the age of 22 allowed on loan at a time. Don't think they're all foreign. Maximum of 6 players over the age of 2 allowed on loan to a foreign club. That's nothing to do with us. So we're allowed to bring in maximum of 6 foreign-based players. I don't know if they're. How do we find out? I mean, that's definitely. I don't know if they're foreign or not. I guess we'll find out when we start the season or in the next episode. So this is going to be quite confusing. But I think for now, I guess we'll just do a 4-2-3-1. I don't even know if we have any wingers. So do we have any wingers? We've got Hassan. Looks like a decent winger. Obviously, we've got a left. Do we actually have a left winger? That's an easier way to look at it. We've got Thiago Fernandez, Luka Ilic, who probably was a decent player back in the day. Obviously, he's only 26. He actually played for Man City. Came through their youth system. Not really. Didn't actually make any appearances. Went on numerous loans, but never failed to break into the first team. So I think we've definitely got left wingers. We've got one right winger. We're getting somewhere. We've got one attacking midfielder who can play out on the right. Then we've got 3 strikers, all on loan and all poachers. Yeah, if I knew Oviedo was going to be tricky, I would have picked him. Not that I'd have a choice because we did it in complete random. We've got numerous amounts of defensive midfielders. Yikes. Are we doing a defensive midfield formation then? Oh, this is absolutely hideous. Do we do a 4-2-3, like a defensive version of a 4-3-3? Possibly. That may be the system we potentially use. This is going to be confusing. I think we'll just load in on probably a gegenpress formation there. We'll just load up a 4-3-3 in and out of possession. Obviously, this is we could probably if we can, we'll have to see what this looks like in pre-season, but we could probably do something like this because we've got the players to do it. It's a slightly defensive version of a 4-2-3-1, but it's probably what we have to do. Can we let's see what the pick without restriction best 11. Then we'll see what that does. Then we'll pick the in roles in possession and pick roles out of possession. So it doesn't look like a bad team. It looks a little bit weird, but I think that's what we kind of have to do, at least for the first season or until the January transfer window. So I think that's what we'll do tactically. Then we'll get our head around the loan situation because I'm not aware of any matchday rules, at least for friendly. There obviously isn't any rules, but when it gets to the league, which we've got 17th of August, we've got plenty of time, but it's just whether or not we could play all those loan players in the squad. We'll obviously take a look at the under-19s. I don't think we have anyone decent. Let's look at the B team. Do we have anyone of decent current ability, potential ability? Not really. Do we have a C team? I don't think so. What's San Claudio? That's effectively our C team, I think. But I don't think we have anyone decent. So I think we very much have to work with what we've got in the first team. I doubt there's going to be any players potentially leaving us in the summer, but you never know. There might be a few transfers here and there before the our first game of the season. But I guess we won't bother talking to the players because there's no point doing that because it's just going to be a case of us trying to commit to them to avoiding relegation, and hopefully in the next episode I'll have some sort of idea how this first game is going to go in charge of Real Oviedo, especially the loans. It's going to take some time getting our head around that because we can't have a full starting 11 with just loan players. That would be just absolutely ridiculous. So I'll see you all in the next episode where we'll be hopefully trying to field a starting 11 for both of our opening fixtures of the brand new First Division La Liga campaign, and they will be up against Elche and Atletico Pamplona. If you have enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for lots more Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.